You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to our 11th annual Brave-a-thon. I'm Tiernan Doyle from Brave New Radio and WPTV's Press Start.
And I'm Matt Cameron, and I'm from WPTV's And Scene.
Thanks again for tuning in and celebrating local music with us today.
And a huge thank you to our friends at Fry Guys in Wayne, New Jersey on the Hamburg Turnpike and American Hero Smokehouse and Barbecue. Veteran owned and operated, and they also give 15% off for students.
And a big thank you to Manhattan Bagels, located in Wayne, New Jersey on the Hamburg Turnpike, and David Precise, located in Saddlebrook, New Jersey, who could be found at davidprecise.com.
Check out everything going on today at gobrave.org/Braveathon.
Or head over to Instagram and Twitter to check out the hashtag Team Hobart.
From the great state of New Jersey, please help us welcome Danni May.
Are you ready to put me on dare? 'Cause I'm ready to go back home. I don't care what the doctors told me. I spoke to Jesus on the telephone. He said, lace up your shoes and quit playing the blues. I'm gonna take you to a better place, where the sun always shines and the light in your eyes is always tended like a burning flame. Yeah. Write me up on a list of who was cured or what was slain, like a glove that would prove you're damned for sure and thrown away. These pills never slowed me down and I'm still going strong. You count me in milligrams, oh, but I think you're wrong. Are you ready to call my mother and my father, my sister too? 'Cause I'm going to better places and I'm so sorry I'm not taking you. So I'll lace up my shoes and quit playing the blues. I'm gonna take me to a better place, where the sun always shines and the bells never chime and the undertaker stays away. Yeah. Na 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 na. time machine, a dream constructed in a dream hall. Clocks and dials on the walls, and your voice was ringing through the halls. And I stepped out, stood there like a ghost as I watched my life with you unfold. Since you're the one I love the most, nothing I saw will go untold. And by the time that you kiss me by the willow tree, I'll be more in love with you than you are with me. By the first snow of the season, we will fall apart. And if I die, I'll die of a broken heart. Ooh. And I tried to hold your hand one day, somehow your fingers slipped away, and tension like a swinging gate swung on its hinges, sealed our fate. There's nothing I can do to stop it now, just hope we find some way somehow to pull the pieces back together, tie the strings all worn and weathered. And by the time that you kiss me by the willow tree, I'll be more in love with you than you are with me. By the first snow of the season, we will fall apart. And if I die, I'll die of a broken heart. Ooh. And your words came out so mean and cold, so doubtful and so cynical, but underneath the way you speak, I found a harsh reality. You lost your faith in me and you and all the things we planned to do. And how could love just drift away? Why can't we find another way? And by the time that you kiss me by the willow tree, I'll be more in love with you than you are with me. By the first snow of the season, we will fall apart. And if I die, I'll die of a broken heart. And if I die, I'll die of a broken heart. Ooh. astray? Could I lose you to a heartbeat? Could I take your breath away? Oh, but I can't give you nothing. It's the nature of the game. But I'm dealing you cards anyway. Your hand is full of queens, of hearts and diamonds, clubs and spades. While I'm playing you these numbers, I'll be saving you an ace. If we can't stop making small talk, we could play this by the rules. You may say you're a joker, but we both could be fools. We won't get very far, 'cause things are getting hot. And you ask me what we are, but please just say I'm who you want. Oh, poker chips and die, we're waiting our demise. It seems we pinned each other to the table. We'll regret this when we're done. Well, at least we're having fun while we pretend to be completely stable. And you struck me out of nowhere like a bullet from a gun. Silver and deadly and covered in blood. You look just like a dream, but I know that's not where you're from. So tell me, darling, what your worst nightmares made of. Oh, close the curtains now. We're snowed in by the sun. And honey, if you want, you can call me Dracula. Oh my. And I don't know why you miss me so. Oh no. It seems that we've been playing over time. So paranormal lives were existing in disguise, but in the mirror you would recognize me. Ain't it tragic just to think that in this fun house we call love, you'd have to sacrifice it all too? Paranormal lives were existing in disguise, but in the mirror you would recognize me. Ain't it tragic just to think that in this fun house we call love, you'd have to sacrifice it all? No, 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 no. Gonna drink it dry, and I'll find all the memories there. We drowned with heaves and sighs. When I drink all the water and lay down in the grass, help me find the sleep I've lost and lay with me at last. Couldn't bear it if he kissed me. Don't even say a word. So when she calls, go running back and give this dream to her. Go running back, go chase the light. No, you have her trust, and we had our time. No, go running back, go chase the light. No, don't lose her trust like I lost my mind. When I get to the river, I wish I'd seen the war behind your eyes. You would think it's something I would recognize. Seen the silent armies, heard their battle cries. Watched the angels lifting bodies to the skies. I'll have you know that once they nearly carried mine. But what else could I do? And then I watched your armor slowly fall apart, disassembled by a breaking human heart. So many times you've tried to rip it from your chest, thinking carving out your love was for the best. I'll have you know I'll never love you any less for what will never be. And nowadays, I'm just a surgeon fixing other people's lives. But I still see the blood and cannon fire skies, and I pretend the bodies that I'm fixing are my own. That's why the lacerated skin so neatly sewn. Oh, I could use a little mending of my own. But in this sterile room, I'm never truly home. So we must find a greater surgeon on this earth, one who understands our hearts and what they're worth. Not just flashbacks to a vivid living hell, and not just chunks of metal sitting on a shelf. clothes that you wear. They will praise your capacity to care. When they ask you to sell all you are because you're rare, don't you dare, butterfly, don't you dare. And they will look not with love but with their eyes, brandish wallets larger than their hearts in size. At the end of the night, they will strip your will to fly. So don't you cry, butterfly, don't you cry. So don't you cry, butterfly, don't you cry. And they will take you to a garden by the bay, to a house where the art collector stays. At the end of the day, they will stamp you on a page. So fly away, butterfly, fly away. So fly away, butterfly, fly away. You're the single worst decision I've ever made. Throw my cares away. I like to keep you moving, sliding down your seat at the cabaret. Love it when you say, I don't know what I'm doing. Kiss me like you mean it, I'll do the same. If you bite me hard, make sure you leave a scar. And love me like you don't need her anyway. It might seem bizarre, but I might let you break my heart. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I remember when I saw you the other day in the alleyway, but you were busy drinking all the single women like Chardonnay. Tell me what you paid for all that cheap champagne. And love me like you mean it, I'll do the same. 'Cause you know it's true that I'm a fool for you. I never meant to love you, it's just a game. This is child's play, but now there's so much more at stake. All the glamour, all the fortune that I've known, all these diamonds are my honey, but all you can say is no. So I'll smash the lights and set the whole stage aglow. It's the final scene where you confess to me that I'm the only lover you've ever known. Come on, lie to me and say that we were meant to be. Oh, we were meant to be.
Thanks again to Danni May. We'll be right back with more in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. This is our 11th annual Brave-a-thon. Welcome back to Brave-a-thon. I'm Tiernan Doyle.
And I'm Matt Camera.
And we're back with Danni May. So, Danni, that was an awesome set that you just played. It was very unique how you played it as well. It kind of felt as if you were each song fused together, almost like you were telling you were taking listeners on like a journey. What were some of your biggest influences on finding this unique sound that you have?
Let's see. Okay, so let's see. When I was a kid, my parents listened to like a lot of musicals and musical tracks because my dad is a music tech guy, so he ran sound for some like musicals like in high school and stuff like that. So I grew up listening to those soundtracks. And also, I think some of my influences are very theatrical in nature as well, even though they're not necessarily like from like theater pieces. So like Mika, and I used to listen to like a lot of MCR and things like that. So things that could be like either extremely sad or extremely grandiose, and I took in like all of that and wanting to put out the same kinds of emotions that a theater piece might, or
Yeah, it was like a performance that you put on. It was really like interesting to watch. You know, do you have any experience like in theater and whatnot?
Nope. Well, actually, I do just a little bit. I was in like a play maybe when I was like 17. I was a comic relief, and it was fun. I loved it.
That's nice. So a lot of what you showed off, you were playing piano and stuff like that today. Are there any other instruments that you know pretty well?
I do know how to play the clarinet.
Nice.
Yeah. I took out my clarinet like the other day, you know, like after not being in high school for a long time. I still have some of my chops.
Really?
So,
awesome.
yeah, I play clarinet. I have a ukulele. Ukulele is pretty easy to learn. I know a little guitar. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like a symphony that you laid out for us. I mean, I was like completely captured the entire time. Can you tell us a little bit about like your history with piano and kind of how you got started with that?
Sure, okay. So when I was like 6 or 7, on a whim, I was like, hey, I want to take piano lessons, and you know, my parents were like, sure, okay. And so I started piano lessons. I was a very like disobedient student. I would change, I was like mischievous. I would change around the endings of all of, you know, the pieces that I was supposed to learn, and and then like play them in different keys and like transpose them and stuff, and like I tried to figure out a lot of those things that would lead me to start songwriting and composing like early on. And then I think maybe when I was about 14, I stopped piano lessons because like classical music was just like really intense, and I just sort of needed a break. I had spent a year working really, really hard on a piece, and from there I got really into songwriting. But yeah, and then also I put out an album when I was 14 of
Cool.
piano music I composed.
Yeah, because you were mixing up like the highs and the lows and jumping back and forth and whatnot. I mean, I can kind of tell that you're kind of an artist who just does their own thing. So, you know, piano lessons maybe wouldn't have been good for you, you know, down like after. It might have been a good call to like end them or whatever, because you're doing really good. But like as far as writing lyrics go, like what is the inspiration for that?
Okay, so lyrics, I sometimes have no idea where they come from. I definitely pull from artists like Bright Eyes, where you get a lot of those lows on the spectrum of human emotion. I try to capture those and how they manifest in my life. And I try to tell stories in a very raw way, but very indirect. I might not come out and say, this, and this happened to me, and it was awful. But, you know, I'll put in a metaphor like, you know, like a butterfly being pinned.
Like poetry.
To a page, yeah.
You have experience like with writing poetry?
Yeah, I do that too. I do write some poetry. I don't have any of it posted. I would like to change that. I would like to put it out in a zine or something. I used to run a zine as well that I want to resurrect very badly. So, yeah.
Right.
All right, cool.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's all the time that we have today for you. But thank you so much for joining us. You did an awesome job.
Thanks for having me.
One last time, I want to thank Danni May for joining us. But coming up next is Just Digs. This is Brave-a-thon on Brave New Radio and WPTV.
You are watching William Patterson University Television.